The story of Al-Andalus is a remarkable chapter in history, spanning over 7 centuries of Muslim rule in the Iberian Peninsula, from 711 to 1492. It's a tale of conquest, cultural flourishing, intellectual brilliance, and eventual decline, leaving a legacy that reverberates across the world. The story begins in 711 when Tariq ibn Ziyad, a Berber Muslim general, crossed the Strait of Gibraltar with an army of around 7,000, defeating the Visigothic king Roderick at the Battle of Guadalete. Tariq, our first major figure, was a freed slave turned military leader under Musa ibn Nusayr, the Umayyad governor of North Africa. His victory at Guadalete, near modern-day Cadiz, marked the rapid Muslim conquest of the Iberian Peninsula. By 718, most of the peninsula was under Umayyad control, named Al-Andalus, with Córdoba as its capital. The early years were turbulent, marked by tensions between Arab and Berber Muslims and the diverse Christian and Jewish populations. The Umayyads established a governorate under the Damascus Caliphate, but political instability persisted due to ethnic rivalries and resistance from Christian pockets in the north. In 750, the Umayyad dynasty in Damascus fell to the Abbasids, but a surviving Umayyad prince, Abd al-Rahman, our second major figure, fled to Al-Andalus. In 756, he established the independent Umayyad Emirate in Córdoba, consolidating power and laying the foundation for a golden age. Abd al-Rahman, known as the Falcon of Andalusia, was a shrewd leader who unified fractious Muslim factions and fostered coexistence among Muslims, Christians, and Jews, known as the Convivencia. He began construction of the Great Mosque of Córdoba, a symbol of Al-Andalus's cultural ambition. By the 10th century, Al-Andalus reached its zenith under Abd al-Rahman III, our third major figure. In 929, he declared himself caliph, establishing the Caliphate of Córdoba, independent of the Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad. His reign from 912 to 961 was a high point of prosperity, with Córdoba becoming one of Europe's largest and most advanced cities, boasting libraries, street lighting, and running water. Abd al-Rahman, the third diplomatic skill, ensured peace with Christian kingdoms like Leon and Navarre, while his administration promoted scholarship, trade, and agriculture. The Caliphate's court attracted poets, scientists, and philosophers, making Al-Andalus a beacon of learning. This era saw the flourishing of the Convivencia, where Muslims, Christians, and Jews collaborated in intellectual and cultural pursuits. Jewish scholars like Hasdai ibn Shaprut, a diplomat and physician under Abd al-Rahman III, thrived, translating texts and fostering interfaith dialogue. Agricultural innovations like irrigation techniques from the Middle East transformed the Iberian landscape, introducing crops like oranges, almonds, and sugarcane. The Caliphate of Córdoba collapsed in 1031 due to internal strife, succession disputes, and corruption. Al-Andalus fractured into dozens of small city-state kingdoms called taifas like Seville, Granada, and Toledo. While politically weak, the taifas were culturally vibrant, patronizing poets and scholars. However, their disunity made them vulnerable to Christian kingdoms in the north, who began the Reconquista, a centuries-long campaign to reclaim the peninsula. One key figure from this period is Al-Mu'tamid ibn Abbad, our fourth major figure, the poet-king of the Taifa of Seville. A gifted poet, Al-Mu'tamid's court was a hub of literature and art, but his kingdom faced constant threats from Christian forces and rival taifas. In desperation, he sought help from the Almoravids, a Berber Muslim dynasty from North Africa. The Almoravids, led by Yusuf ibn Tashfin, arrived in 1086 and defeated Christian forces at the Battle of Sagrajas, temporarily halting the Reconquista. Their strict, puritanical rule clashed with the cosmopolitan culture of Al-Andalus, and their dominance waned by the mid-12th century. They were succeeded by the Almohads, another North African dynasty, who brought a brief resurgence of centralized power. A pivotal figure here is Ibn Rushd, also known as Averroes, our fifth major figure, a 12th century philosopher, jurist, and physician from Córdoba. Ibn Rushd's commentaries on Aristotle profoundly influenced Islamic, Jewish, and Christian thought, bridging Greek philosophy with medieval Europe. His works, translated into Latin, shaped the European Renaissance and scholasticism, though his rationalist ideas sparked controversy among conservative Almohad rulers. The Almohads' defeat at the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa in 1212 marked a turning point, weakening Muslim control and accelerating the Reconquista. By the 13th century, Al-Andalus was reduced to the Nasrid Kingdom of Granada, a small but culturally rich state. The Nasrids, under rulers like Muhammad V, built the Alhambra, a masterpiece of Islamic architecture with intricate tilework and serene courtyards. Granada remained a cultural hub, but it paid tribute to Castile to survive. The Reconquista gained momentum under Christian monarchs like Ferdinand of Aragon and Isabella of Castile. In 1492, after a decade-long siege, Granada fell, ending Muslim rule in Iberia. The surrender, negotiated by the last Nasrid ruler, Muhammad II, marked the end of Al-Andalus. Muslims and Jews faced forced conversions or expulsion, and the convivencia collapsed. The influence of Al-Andalus on the world is nothing short of extraordinary. It was a crucible of cultural synthesis, blending Islamic, Christian, and Jewish traditions into a unique civilization. Its intellectual legacy, preserved through figures like Ibn Rushd, reintroduced Greek philosophy to Europe, fueling the Renaissance and shaping modern thought. Scholars in Al-Andalus advanced mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and optics, with texts translated into Latin spreading knowledge across Europe. Architecturally, the Great Mosque of Córdoba and the Alhambra remain enduring symbols of aesthetic brilliance, influencing global design. Agricultural innovations, including irrigation and crop cultivation, transformed European farming. The convivencia, though imperfect, modeled interfaith coexistence, leaving lessons for tolerance and collaboration. Al-Andalus's poetry, music, and literature, from the Muwashshahat to the works of Al-Mutamid, enriched global artistic traditions. Its trade networks connected Europe, Africa, and Asia, fostering economic exchange. Even in its fall, Al-Andalus shaped the modern world, as its exiles carried knowledge and culture to the Ottoman Empire, North Africa, and beyond. In exalting Al-Andalus, we celebrate a civilization that proved humanity's capacity for creativity, coexistence, and intellectual pursuit in the face of diversity and adversity. Its light, kindled in medieval Iberia, continues to illuminate our world.